bilirubin is I said if there is a problem with my liver. Yeah, if my liver is not able to do its function of conjugation very well. Let's discuss some genetic causes where that can happen. Crigler-Najjar syndrome. Have you heard of this? There's a first time for everything. Crigler-Najjar syndrome is a condition where there is either total absence or a massive deficiency of that glucuronal transferase enzyme. Crigler-Najjar syndrome.
Sorry, what did you say?
Either there is a complete absence or massive deficiency of that glucuronal transferase enzyme. Yes? Another syndrome, I haven't seen a single case of Crigler-Najjar in my 3 years of practice in New Zealand, but I have seen heaps of Gilbert's. That's the second condition. Gilbert syndrome, where there is just, the enzyme is present, but there is a mutation with the enzyme which does not allow the enzyme to function optimally. Gilbert syndrome is a condition where the enzyme is present, but for some reason has undergone a mutation.
Was the enzyme that was completely absent or had a problem in the Crigler-Najjar one?
Crigler-Najjar was either the enzyme is
UDP.
completely, the UDP glucuronal transferase. And the same enzyme is present in Gilbert's, but it has undergone mutation because of which it cannot perform its function of conjugation optimally. So these guys with Crigler-Najjar are going to, if a kid is born with Crigler-Najjar, has got a complete deficiency, they're going to present at birth. I told you, there's going to be high unconjugated bilirubin, crossing the brain, massive jaundice, massive problems. But Gilbert syndrome goes undiagnosed for a long, long time. Like they just keep coming back, like most of the time their adult male patients keep coming back for just jaundice and nobody can really figure out what is the cause of the jaundice. Only when you do like a genetic assay and think about Gilbert's will you be able to diagnose it. Does that make sense? So that's a major difference. Please write down Crigler-Najjar presentation at birth or in early years of life, where Gilbert syndrome is going to be presentation most of the time in adulthood with mild recurrent jaundice.
The one that would be present at birth, is it screened for or is it just that they're presenting with it?
They are presenting with it. Good. Any problem with the liver itself. So this was a problem with the enzyme. Any condition of the liver will ultimately affect the process of conjugation. Yes? What are the conditions with the liver? Hepatitis. Hepatitis. What else? Cirrhosis of the liver. What else? Come on, what else affects the liver? Cancer, okay. Hepatic cancer. What else?
A lot of drug use.
Yeah. What drug?
Corticosteroid.
What drug? Liver dysfunction.
Alcohol.
What drug? Liver dysfunction.
It's not alcohol.
Alcohol, yes. What else? What prescription drug? Liver dysfunction. Methotrexate, DMARD. Why did you say it? The answer that hits your brain for the first time is always the right answer. Say it loud. The maximum that can happen is I'm going to be like, shut up, that's wrong. Okay.
That's why I didn't say
And what
it.
happens if I say shut up once? What happens? Nothing happens. Hepatitis, cirrhosis, but you at least said it. Okay? So hepatitis, this has worked for me thinking like that, okay, all the time. Like I come up with heaps of wrong answers and people are like, Reshma, just go back to your country. People have told me that. Senior consultants have told me that. But I don't take it to heart. I'm not sitting behind and crying, oh my God. I'm just like, yeah, I said it, I did it. I know I'm a good doctor. Hepatitis, cirrhosis, cancer, drugs. Like what? Methotrexate, thank you, doctor. Alcohol.
Could it even be that they're on just a large cocktail of drugs and their liver's overworking?
Beautiful. Have you heard of epilepsy? all anti-epileptic drugs are liver toxic. Okay?
How long do you be taking them?
Most epilepsy drugs, people are taking them for a long
No, I
time.
mean like how long do you need to take them before they start?
And that varies from person to person. And it also varies from if they're on one medication to another medication. But most of the time, I think 6 months is enough for you to start developing problems. And that's why you need to monitor them regularly. Okay? Like everybody, any patient who's on anti-epileptics will have regular monitoring of liver function tests done. Should have it done.
So would they, if the liver's being damaged, would they then have to change drugs, or would they just
Yeah,
take
exactly. We'll go on to a less sort of liver-friendly drug or reduce the dose. Something along that lines. Okay? The beautiful thing with the liver is, you know, right, like your liver is one of the biggest organs in the body, and if somebody develops a major problem with the liver and has to undergo hepatic resection, and that's the size of the liver, and if I remove more than 90% of it, even that 10% sitting there is going to be enough to take care of your body, because the regeneration ability is just amazing. So with that organ, for someone who has developed a hepatic failure, they have abused their liver big time. Does that make sense? Like hepatic failure to happen in itself means you have just done everything possible to kill your liver, because it just doesn't give up. Even I told you, like a 10% healthy liver can go on for a long time because the regeneration ability is just amazing.
So some grow back. By regeneration, do you mean liver cells grow back? and-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sort of, it's not that from 10% it's going to grow back to 100%,
But
but that
it'll-
10%, like the turnover can be so fast and so amazing that they can just
Oh,
take
yeah.
care of your entire
So
metabolic
it'll compensate.
system. Exactly.
That's why you can donate half your liver.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah, beautiful. That explains. Yep, Zoe.
I was on this drug for my skin, and I